Good evening, Dr. Martin. My name is Aaron Billiot. This is my week 5 essay number 2 video project for this week's assignment on Paterson. First off, I will admit this was a difficult read for myself, only because of how much the author bounced around a lot with the various storylines. Just the organization was something that is difficult for myself to follow, but otherwise it was quite interesting. I found that Mr. Williams, being an excellent observer of the things around him in his surroundings, as I noted in my forum, one of the things he took time to smell the roses. That's exactly what he did throughout this entire poem. Pretty much is he took that time. He took in everything around the very fine details, the mundane things that just society as a whole would fail to recognize. But he took the opportunity to note the smells, the visuals, the sounds, the people, just nature, everything around him, and he was able to just to document it so thoroughly and so rich, like the imagery of being able to put this all into words. It was something that I've never really seen in many of the readings that I've assignments that I've had before, but he captures it so well. Like I said, the only thing is just the organization and the different storylines and how it bounces around was one of the things that just made it a little difficult for me to be able to follow. But to see him and recognize how much effort he put in just taking the opportunity to take that all in and just put that to words, it's one of the more profound readings that I've ever had of just somebody that's able to take in so much and document it so well. I think that was a real highlight for me as far as this poem goes. One of the parts you noted in the assignment to bring out about the Sam Patch, Tim Crane storylines. And one of the things I would say about Tim Crane is that I found him to be content where he was in life. Maybe at some point he might have been on the Sam Patch side of things, but for that present time, I found that he was content. At one point, he saw there was a problem. He solved this problem. I think he was comfortable and confident in where he saw himself in society, but he wasn't at that time on the Sam Patch level. From what I gathered, Sam Patch was a go-getter. He kind of seemed egotistical at some point, but he was a go-getter. He was a daredevil. He was one of those that lived in the moment and would take risk to the point from what I gathered, it might have been something that sounds like it was something that had a tragic ending for him. But he was one of those. I guess there was a metaphor to say that just taking the bull by the horns, living every moment as if it was your last. He was the guy that was willing to go beyond all boundaries and to just take whatever risk, and just so much dramatics, I guess, with him, because he was just willing to be able to put it all on the line. And the other part where I believe they said Tim Crane, again, to support what I said earlier, him being the happiest man in town and just being content. I think that kind of supports where I was going with that, because a person that, considering being the happiest man in town, to me, that seems as if he's got no concerns. There's nothing that is going to bother him. But anyways, but overall, I think this was interesting of a read. I was attempting to buy the movie to check it out. I did check it out on YouTube. Seemed pretty interesting. Doesn't look like it's going to exactly reflect what the book was getting at. Because from what I looked at, from what I gathered, is that in the actual novel and the writing, William Carlos Williams was a doctor versus in the movie, I believe the guy was a bus driver and certain things like that. I think with time I may actually give that one a try, but other than that, I felt like the book was very detailed. I did make it through three, almost four into four books, but it was definitely time consuming, and it took a little bit because there was so much to be able to break down. But other than that, this is my entry. Before I go, I did want to say I appreciate how you've been able to assess and go through my assignments and the feedback that you've given me so far. Um, some things that I definitely took into consideration, and I appreciate that you've taken the time to be able to break it down as much as you have. I haven't had that happen so much through my college career thus far, and just to all the feedback that you've given me, I appreciate it. And anyways, uh, this is my assignment. I hope you have a great night. Thank you.